Hello everyone and welcome to another beer review. So again we're doing another bargain keg and it's from Woodforde, which is a brewery we've looked at before. But this time it's a lager for under £20 for a 5 litre keg. So we're doing Conquest as part of the 52 degree north range. Try and lift it up. So it's 4.5%. It's an Imperial Lager. Try and get myself on the light. Try and get a thumbnail. Kind of. So it's Conquest and it's £19, it's 5 litres. You can get it from Amazon and of course direct from Woodforde's themselves. I haven't tried it. Does it say anything on it? Apparently it says it's Conquest is a bold and bursting with modern hop varieties. It's refreshing, light and thirst quenching. It's time to conquer your taste buds. It looks pale gold in colour. The smell is citrus fruit and the taste is clean finish. So the bitterness is 2.5 out of 5 and the sweetness is 2.5 out of 5. So there you go. So I've already poured some. There we go. So what do I get to smell? There is a bit of citrus, but more slightly passion fruit really. I'm getting more kind of tropical smells off it rather than just citrus. I'm getting hints of passion fruit and maybe a little hint of pineapple, which is all natural flavours coming from hops and natural aromas you get. Right, so let's see what it tastes like. Now that's unusual. In my view, that is unusual because it starts taking you down a little journey, it starts taking you down a little tunnel, and you think, oh, I know where this is going to go. And it doesn't go there. It doesn't go there. Right, let's break this down. Starts off with some malty sweetness right at the start, with little hints of passion fruit at the start of the mouth. Starts to move on to the mid-tongue. Again, you've still got a light malty sweetness. It does get a little bit lighter. You can get still get little hints of passion fruit, but then you just get little hints of citrus coming through, as well as the kind of standard kind of lager kind of grain kind of base as well. And you're thinking, oh, here we go. So you're expecting it as it starts to go through towards the aftertaste. You maybe start to expect the hoppiness to kind of build up, maybe start giving a kind of bitterness, because that's what it feels like. It starts off very similar to like a golden ale, and you think, here we go, here we go, here we go. And it doesn't, it just blends off to a very light and gentle aftertaste like you would get in a normal lager. And it finishes off like a lager. It starts off a bit like golden ale-ish, and it starts to kind of get there. You think, oh, here we go, here we go. It's really a golden ale. It's not a lager at all. And no, it's like, whoa. Just goes from the middle of the mid-tongue to the aftertaste and just kind of dissipates off like a lager. So yeah, a bit unusual, because you honestly think it's going to finish a certain way and it doesn't. It finishes a different way. Which makes it unusual, but you do, in the aftertaste, you just get little hints of passion fruit, just little hints of citrus. I mean, very delicate, but enough for you to actually taste it in the kind of lager flavour of the kind of that kind of greenish base that you get. So yes, something a bit different. And what do they say? Conquest Imperial Lager. Conquest is a bold and bursting with modern hops varieties. Refreshingly light and thirst quenching. Well, it is light, but just with these little accents, it just makes it quite interesting. It does make it a lager with a bit more substance, a bit more about it actually. I'm actually quite surprised at it. It kind of works. it works as, it's like a lager, but just with a little bit more interesting flavours to a degree. But it's nicely brewed. There's a nice balance to it, so it's not as if like it's little hints. It's not like a constant. You just get little hints of tropical flavours like passion fruit, like kind of orange. But again, it's not. It's a kind of citrus. I'm not going to say orange, but it's kind of citrus. But it's not a bitter citrus. There's no pithiness. There's no bitterness or anything like that. It's just little gentle hints. But they're enough within the background of the lager just to make it a bit interesting, but it's a bit strange. Because you wouldn't honestly think, well, they miscalled this one, this is a golden ale. But they haven't. And I like it. I like it just because it's something a bit different, actually. In a nice way. It's like, yeah, we'll add a little bit of kind of unusual flavours, which is a normal thing within the craft fraternities. Like, let's add in flavours where these flavours really shouldn't be. But instead of, ramming it down your throat like a lot of craft beers do, this is very subtle and very gentle, and just give you little hints. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. But not too much for it to be really, convince you it's something else. It just kind of hints at taking you down a certain journey, but doesn't actually take you there. And yeah, it makes it a bit kind of strange, but nice and interesting from my point of view. And I would recommend people to give it a try and just see what they think, because it is something a bit unusual. And I'm starting to find that some beers with Woodforde are a bit hit and some are a bit miss. And this is a hit. I mean, what we had hit wise, the pale ale was nice. Their IPA was quite nice. This is quite nice. Seems to be the 52 degrees north kind of range. It's actually not a bad kind of range. There's actually some quite nice beers. I'm not saying wonderful beers and that, but for the price and that, they're actually quite drinkable and very palatable, and I would recommend people to try them. But they have had some ones. We had that, was it Beer Gold, and that was just pants. That was just not good at all, really. It was just kind of a mixed match, and it just wasn't really working. And the wherry kind of, I think it was an amber ale or something like that is. It's a very kind of light kind of beer. It's supposed to have a kind of maltiness to it, which it does do, but it's just lacking in flavour. It's just too light. It just doesn't have enough. It's got the flavours there, but they're just not strong enough, not bold enough to basically be kind of make it a good beer. It's just lacking in body and strength, not just in alcohol, but obviously in flavour as well. So, I mean, there is some hits and misses, but I would say in general, a lot of the hits are coming from this 52 degrees north range, and I'd say this is one of them. So it's 4.5%. It's about £19 for a keg from Amazon, 5 litre. You can drink it obviously straight from the keg, or you can put it through a beer machine like I've done. And yeah, it's got some nice, interesting flavour profiles. So what would I give this out of 10? Here's the question. Yeah. I'm going to give this a 6.5 out of 10, because it's quite a nice lager, but it's just got some interesting kind of hints of flavours in there that just kind of makes it a bit more interesting than just guzzling a standard lager. I mean, there is a standard kind of lager round about it, quite a nicely brewed lager, and just has these little kind of accents of citrus and passion fruit that just makes it a little bit more interesting and something to kind of more a conversation piece as well. And yeah, my view is give it a go and see what you think. So yeah, so it's 6.5 out of 10. I would recommend it. It's interesting, if nothing else, and I think you can get it in bottles as well from Amazon and obviously from Woodforde's themselves, their own shop. So 6.5 out of 10, 5 litre keg, £19, 4.5%, Imperial Lager, Conquest. Thanks for watching. Cheers and bye for now.